Guys, welcome back to What's Not Sport. This is a pulse check. We're here on episode 54, so we're smashing through it. We've got this will come out today on Wednesday. Filming in the morning, coming out probably a little bit the Savo. It's just me today. We don't have Byron Deekman here to join us for any segments today, unfortunately. He is just, well, not unfortunate for us, but for him, he's off down, getting ready to race down at Glenelg after he just had his round 2 and 3 at the Iron Series. So I'm running solo again, so it'll be like what it used to. Today, I'm only really going to cover what's been going on in surf sports. We had the Iron Series on the weekend. Big, like, huge stuff to talk about there. We got the Glenelg Sprint Challenge happening this weekend. It's the last race before Chrissy. And then I'll talk a little bit Ashes, but currently the Ashes is live at the moment. We are. Oh, let me see if I can pull it up. I think I closed it. We'll get back to you on that. But whatever it is, it's not looking good at the moment. I think we're like 3 for. I'll be able to tell you right now. We had 2 for 37. So not ideal. Um, Smudge out with an injury, a potential concussion. So Usman Khawaja, he was back into the side. Both our opening batters out, Travis Head, Jake Weatherald, 2 for 37. We gotta really get going on this boat of Adelaide Test. But nonetheless, we are here for What's Not Sports. I just said we're gonna start talking clubbies. We have a lot to talk about in the Iron Series, so let's dive straight into it. So, the Iron Series just happened over the weekend. We had round 2 and round 3. Round 2 being the super sprint, round 3 being an eliminator race. So, Saturday, the super sprint, it was 3 sprint irons. The first 2 got counted on points, and the third you went off at a handicap. Let's talk men first. Our podium, well, not to say it's I got 2 out of 3 last week from what we're talking about, but we got third place Ethan Callahan, second place Ali Day, and first place Callum Brennan. That's just outstanding. It's Ethan's second time on the podium in the Iron Series, I believe, maybe second or third. Callum Brennan's second time on the podium as well, and he took out the race. It was an epic race. For a lot of it, it was Connor Maggs, Ali Day, Ethan, and Callum all together in the top 4. It was the final leg of the board. Ethan decided to make a move. Ali tacked on the back of Ethan. They dropped Connor and Cal a little bit. Then this set wave came through. Looked like it was going to be all 4 on him. Connor fell off it. CJ paddled down it. Had the inside line. Ali was next to him, and Ethan was on the outside. And then the young legs of CJ Brennan, the boy from Currumbin, got up first, quick up the sand, had the inside line, and he took his first ever round win in the Shaw and Partners Iron Series. So absolute epic day for him. Great racing. Was really exciting. It was brutal. I know that for a fact. We'll talk about how brutal it was for a lot of athletes. But yeah, congratulations there. In the women's for the super sprint, third place, Annalise Kibble, the AK-47. Second place, Lucy Derbyshire. And in first place, Carla Papak. Annalise Kibble had that shoulder injury, had surgery on it, has been rehabbing it, hasn't done a lot of racing this season. We saw her at Coffs Harbour, looked great form. She didn't race at Alex Heads, prepping for the Iron Series, and it definitely has paid off, getting that third in round 2 in the super sprint. Lucy Derbyshire showed that she can be at the top of the race. The only other podium she's ever gotten in the Iron Series was actually when she won the Grand Eliminator last year. So just huge. Probably still, I guess, not as experienced on the like leading the top end or being in the pointy end of the Iron Series so far, other than that last race last season, and really showing some good form now in the Iron Series. And then Carla Papak, what can you say? Second in the Coolic Gold, had a fantastic weekend, taking out her first Iron Series race in the Super Sprint. She was good. Looked so strong. It was a ding dong battle with her and Lucy for the race, and hats off to her. Second season under Michael King at Burley. She's really putting in the effort, and it's really starting to pay off and come to fruition. And she's a real threat in this Shaw and Partners Iron Series this year. Now, let's jump into day 2, which was the Eliminator. 3 races, every race, 6 people got dropped, the bottom 6. And for a final race of 16, so we went from 28 to 16 for the final race. Our podium, third place, Sean Riley. Second place, our boy Ethan Callahan gets back on the podium 2 rounds in a row. He was hungry for that. He's really happy with that performance. Obviously, we support who we interview on What's Not Sport, and another person that we have, one of our first guests, Ali Day. He took out the win there. First win in Newcastle in about 11 years, something like that. Congratulations to him. Epic weekend of racing, a second and a third. Ethan getting a third and a second. He won't complain about that. And Sean Riley just having a killer day on Sunday, getting a third in that eliminator. He'd been sick leading up to it, had injuries, had all these problems, missed out on the goal due to illness. And then now he's come back. He's got himself into a good position, and we'll be heading to Maroubra. So absolutely awesome from him. In the women's, it was a very, very different race, and we saw quite a few big names miss out. An example of that is our good friend Lana Rogers. Got caught up in that first race and got very unlucky, got the bad end of the stick, and unfortunately missed out after the first race. But our podium for the Eliminator was Emma Woods, Lizzie Wellborn, and Lucy Derbyshire. So, great job from Woodsy. Didn't have the best day on Saturday. Really fought tough, got back, and put herself on the podium for Sunday. It's awesome. Lizzie Wellborn, a little bit similar. Also didn't have the points from the goal because she didn't do it because due to illness, and then didn't have the best day yesterday. Had a decent day, but probably wanted better from her standards, and then to get second here on Sunday. Good on her. Like, put herself in that position to qualify to the next round. And then Lucy Derbyshire, she gets her first ever second round win. Third time on the podium there. But yeah, she led from the front the whole time, and yeah, had a bit of ground on the field. Now, good on her. Second on the Saturday and a first on the Sunday. You can't complain with that. Now, I'm going to pull out my phone here. We've got up on my phone. We got the point score. So, in the Iron Series, this is the leaderboard at the moment. We'll go with the women's first. We'll talk our top 3. So, we'll talk our top 7. Because I think it's really, really noteworthy of a few things. So, Carla Papak is currently leading the series on 86 points. Lucy Derbyshire is second on 84, and Electra Outram on 81. So only 5 points separate first and third, 2 separating first and second, and 3 separating second and third. Electra Outram won the gold. Was an incredible performance. Didn't get on the podium this weekend. We'll see a few more things coming from her later on in the season. Lucy Derbyshire didn't have... She had a really good gold for what happened to her. She had a few issues that fell out of her ski a couple times, but really fought for a decent position. I think she finished 6th or 7th, maybe 8th. And Carla Papak second in the gold, first at Super Sprint, and then obviously I think it was 5th or 6th in the Eliminator on Sunday. So all these girls are having like top 8 finishes and everything, and that consistency is coming really good. Now let's go back to 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Tiani Massey currently on 67 points. So huge shout out to Tiani. She didn't have that gold that she wanted. She had that snap paddle, had to get in and fought really hard to get back to where she was. And then she would have wanted to be on that podium a lot more. But nonetheless, she had good performances and it's got her through. And she's sitting fourth at the at the moment. Like, look, the whole idea is to get to the last weekend at Miami and trying to get in that grand eliminator. They're doing everything they can at the moment and setting up their season. Dom Stitt on 66 points. Good on her. She's absolutely killing it. Yeah, just she led a couple of those eliminator races on Sunday. Just looks good, good form. Obviously, had that third in the gold. She looks really good under that Mooloolaba cap. Emma Woods, 52 points. She's in sixth. What do we have to say about Woodsy? She's just got that dog in her and is exceptional. And then on seventh is Annalise Kibbles. We just talked about how she missed the gold. She needed to have a good performance at the series on the weekend on Saturday and Sunday, and she did that. Got herself on 50 points and has got herself into seventh position. So to enter this weekend with 0 points and going, if I don't have a good weekend, I could be out here, which did happen to some people. It's really she's really backed up, and I think having the World Ocean Series off the week before really helped her out there. Now, I don't want to focus too much on the negatives, but I'm going to talk about some of the names that we do have that were in the red zone and are unfortunately done for the Iron Series this year in the women's. So from I think it's 22nd to 28th, so seven athletes, no, 8 athletes missed out. So that's huge. Yeah, so let's run it. So shout out to Liv Clues, her second season in the series. She qualified last year and then got the next gen for this year. She missed out on a countback. It was a 4-way countback, or tie, so they count back. Just missed out on qualification to team up Piper Harrison, Hannah Scully, and then Gemma Smith Welsh, those two Northcliffe girls. Gemma Smith Welsh being the last to qualify for the next round at Maroubra. It's her debut full season. We've seen her in the when it was Nutrigrain come up for a couple rounds. The last couple of years of that, but this is her first season probably fully being in it. And she's just gotten through to the next round. So Olivia Clues is the first one to miss out. Olivia Conant, another big name. Well, first big name, I would say she didn't have the series that she wanted. Obviously, she was one of the auto re-qualifiers from last season. I think she'll be a little bit upset with that result, but so would a lot of people. Dakota Luke, her debut season from Burleigh, and like these girls were only a few points of making it to Maroubra. Being a young gun in an eliminator series like this is really tough. So good job to her. Taylor Halliday, she came back this season, made the series. She misses out on the next round. Chelsea Wood misses out next round. A huge one. Lana Rogers misses out. Didn't have that weekend she wanted after not finishing the gold. But we know Lana, she'll bounce back for the World Ocean Series, and we'll probably see her win quite a few of those 10,000 and 7,000 point events. Bianca Raywood is out, and Kyra Bender. So those are the girls in the women's field that are out. So there you have it. Let's go to the men's now. We'll talk top 7, and then we'll talk about the unfortunate lot that didn't get through to the next round. So let's run it. Now this is a lot more spread out compared to I don't know what that was. Oh, hello. Yeah, the headset was not happy with that. Apologies if that hurt your ears as much as mine. Let's run through it. Big differences in points compared to the women. So first place, Ali Day, 93 points. Ethan Callahan, second place on 73. So Ethan he hasn't didn't have like a top 3 finish in the gold, but I think he finished 12th, and then he's had 2 podiums, set him up really good, but he's big points away from Ali. That's 20 points away. Ali's had 2 wins, so the gold and the eliminator and a second, so he's almost on maximum points. It's going to be really hard to chase him down, but the goal is not to chase him down, it's to be there for the last weekend. Finn Askew, 69 points in third. Callum Brennan on 68 points. Riley Harlan on 67 points. Jackson Borg on 63. And Corey Taylor on 62. Um, Matt Bevelacker and Joe Collins are just sitting outside of that. Well, they both definitely didn't have the weekend that they wanted, and it was a bit unusual from them. But I'm sure they'll be back to they'll be back to bounce back and have a great round at Maroubra to stay in that top lot. Some shout-outs that did qualify, well, continue to go through, like Noah Steiner, Kai Taylor. Kai Taylor hasn't been in the series for a few years. I think the last time he was in, I think he was in it last year, but before that was his first, when he was the first next-gen athlete. Noah Steiner, his first season in the series, made it through to Maroubra. Good on him. Sean Riley, he's been really sick and injured. Well, really sick, and a few injuries here and there. He got through, and another huge one would be Campbell Asher. He's done enough to get through to Maroubra. Now let's talk about who missed out. Some big names. Cooper Williams, he's the first to miss out. We know how good of an Ironman Cooper Williams is. For like 2 or 3 years, we saw him leading 2 legs of the Open Iron at Aussies. So we know he can race well, but it just I don't think it was it for him. Nathan J missed out. Corey Fletcher, another huge one. Max Beatty, also a huge one. Kai Harland, his first season in the series. I'm sure he'll be back bigger and better next year. Tex Dixon, Byron Diekman, our man, the next gen athlete, missed out on Maroubra, and Henry Simpson. So those are your bottom 8 that unfortunately don't get to go through Maroubra. It's cutthroat, but they all would have learnt a lot from that experience. Now, that's Iron Series covered. Let's jump into a little bit of, we'll have a look at Surf Fantasy and we'll have a look at live heats for the Glenelg Sprint Challenge. So, the men's field is actually pretty big, especially compared to the women's field. Like, for example, the women's field for the surf race only has 19 people that entered. In the men's, it's 61, so 3 times that just shows there's quite a bit of depth in this men's field. So let's run through some of the big names. We'll talk about some of the big names that are coming down to do it in the men's and women's, and then we'll talk about my surf fantasy picks and who I think is going to win it. So Ali Day is coming down for going to Glenelg for it. Braden Casamento, Byron Diekman, Cooper Williams, Finn Askew, Henry Simpson, Hayden Cotter, Jackson Borg, Joey Collins, Bevy Zare. And I think those are really our big names there. Like Lockie Merchant's there, Tex Dixon's coming down for it. I think those are our big names in Ironman. That those guys were all really in the series just then, and they're making that effort to go down to Glenelg to get 7,000 points, to get some more runs on the board. I know Ali will be super hungry for that, to get that win there. He hasn't had the World Ocean Series start that he wanted to. 100% hasn't had it. Like, he's had some decent results, but we know Ali, he wants to be on that top podium every single time. He wants to win that car at the end of the season. He wants that Subaru. So that's why he's going down there. So I can guarantee he will have a great performance down there. In the women, some of our big names like Brodie Trinker, we see her. This could be her first iron of the season so far. Claudia Kelly's making the effort to go down there. Emma Woods. Grace Harris is down there. Jessica Conrad's going to be down there from Burleigh. Katie Rees is down there. Lucy Derbyshire, it's her home beach. Naomi Scott and Zoe Woods. Like, those are some big names in that women's field. Now, let's talk about who I think's going to win. I'm going to back Ali Day here to win the Ironman, and I'm going to back. Let's have a look. Who am I backing in the? And in the women's, I am backing Emma Woods to take the win in that. I think Katie Reeves will be on the podium along with Lucy Derbyshire. Bevy and Joey Collins will be on that podium as well. Let's talk board races. Charlie Verco was entered in it and now it's cancelled. Fingers crossed he comes back. I reckon Bevy gets a win here. And I reckon we might see a good performance from Tex Dixon. We know how good he's board paddler. Bit of local hero here. Tom May in the ski. He's Seacliff, so he's down there at South Australia. Could see a good performance from him as well as Harrison Torrens. Obviously, Ironman boys, we'll see if they double up and do the ski as well. They could obviously be in that mix like Jacko Borg. The swim, Hayden Cotter, or like biggest name in the swim, like in that field other than Ali Day. Ali Day is entered for it, but I don't know if he will race it. Jackson Borg and Cooper Williams, those are probably your big three swimmers that are definitely in there. They're the only ones for fantasy that you can pick. That I've picked. I do want to know, I am kind of going through my tips on Surf Fantasy. That's what I'm doing right now. There are some athletes, because there's only 5 in Tier A and Tier B, and there are limited athletes that are coming to Glenelg. If you do have to pick someone that might be in Tier A that will get you 0 points because there's no one in Tier A entered. That's just something I wanted to point out. In the Iron Woman, I said earlier, Emma Woods, I think is going to take it out. Katie Reeves and Lucy Derbyshire are both on my team. In the board, Naomi Scott, Katie Reeves, and Brody Trinker. That's my board lineup. I think we'll see one of them get the win. In the ski, Claudia Kelly and Georgia Singleton. I think the Northcliffe girls have a great race there and get the win there. If not, Claudia Kelly will be in that. And then for the swim, no Tier A picks are actually racing. Naomi Scott's entered in the swim, so she's my Tier B pick, and Katie Reeves in my Tier C. So that's what I've got for Surf Fantasy this week. And that's, I think I've done it. I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover for What's Not Sports in that section. Now let's have a quick look at the cricket. Let's see how we are going in the Ashes, the third test. Okay. We got 2 wickets. It's 2 for 48. The Aussies are making a little bit of ground. We got Khawaja. He's 3 for 23, so he probably needs to start getting a little bit more runs. And Labuschagne, he is on 11 for 17. So I'll upload this pretty soon after that. I hope you enjoyed this quick rapid fire episode of Surf Sports. We've got our last couple interviews of the 880 Challenge coming out. You would have seen we had Lana Rogers a couple of weeks ago, Ethan Callahan. We've had Ethan Forge, the QAS Paris Swim Oz coach. Owen Paddy, we had him on. Who else do we have on? Oh, that's really bad of me. This is not good on my standards. Let me have a check. Who else is on it? So bad for me. We've had 5 on, and I've just finished an interview this morning with someone. He's number 7. We've had number 6, so that's 5. So Paddy was the first. Ethan Ford. Oh, Tanner Linden. We had Tanner Linden. That was an epic episode. Possibly my favorite one that I've done. And then we had Ethan, and then we had Lana. All great episodes. Check them out on YouTube and Spotify. Maybe a little bit easier to find them on YouTube. They're under What's Not Sports, and then they're under Inside Story. In that, we also got our interview with Ali Day that I did a few months back, if you want to check that out. But we're closing on the end of this. There'll be another on Friday. We'll drop. I'll give you a little teaser with former Australian Sevens coach Andy Friend. That's a fantastic one. really interesting insights as him as a coach. Uh, I really, and then I'll tease this morning's one that I recorded a little bit. We sat down with a sports agent who used to be a sports journalist. That was really cool insights there. Uh, It's just different perspectives on it and different personalities on, which was my whole goal, to talk to different people and that have different roles in the sporting world. Like, we've talked to 4 or 5 athletes. We've talked to 2 coaches now with that episode coming out. And then now we've talked to a sports person who used to be a sports journalist and now is a sports agent. Like an awesome story. Like, everyone's just got these unique stories, which are so cool to share. I'm glad I get to do that. Guys, you're gonna have to guess who. I'm not gonna give any rumors about our 8th guest in the 8 and 80. There might be some hints, but that episode probably won't come out until after Christmas. So we'll have one of the 8 and 80 challenge drop on um, Friday. We'll have one drop on Monday. Have a pulse check episode on Wednesday next week, and then Christmas is obviously Thursday, so that'll drop on Christmas Eve. We'll preview the Boxing Day test there, and all of that. We'll talk Glenelg, wrap that up, see if there's anything else interesting going on in the world of sport that I need to be aware of or I haven't really touched on, and then we'll have one more interview for the 8 and 80, and I don't think we might not get one last pulse check. So I'll let you know on that. But we might only have 2 more pulse checks left in the year. So there'll be 5 pods left in the year, potentially 4 or 5. So, um, yeah. Thanks for tuning into this episode of What's Not Sports, this quick rapid fire one. And I'll see you all in the next episode.